Hey there guys, Next Gen Striker here, back again for another video, and today we're going to be discussing Red Hood in Young Justice Season 3, or Young Justice Outsiders, whatever you want to call it. So, Jason Todd was, if you guys remember, already mentioned in Season 2, when some of the team went to visit some of the heroes that were lost in the past. In between the jump between Season 1 and 2, Jason Todd was shown in that cave. Now, I think what's really important here is that why would they really build up Jason Todd being there if they weren't going to use him in the future, right? Obviously, in the past, when they had to do Batman the Animated Series, they couldn't do Jason Todd because it's a kid's show, and being that Jason Todd dies, it's like, well, what are you going to do? But now that we're on this digital service, and it is going to lean a little bit more adult in this season, I think it's very possible that we could see Jason Todd, given that he's already been built up. So, also we have the fact that Robin could very well be Damian Wayne in this next season, which would then have us have Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne on one season, which would be absolutely awesome. So, what would Red Hood's role be in Young Justice if he did appear? Now, obviously, a lot of people love Red Hood. Ever since Under the Red Hood, which was the animated film that he debuted in, people want Red Hood in literally everything. The video games, the movies, the TV shows, you name it, people love Red Hood. So, being that Red Hood is a big popular character, I definitely see him being in this series somehow. They have to cram him in because they put every fan-favorite character imaginable in this series. And as far as his role, I think it'd be really interesting because he would essentially be a wild card. Now, obviously, he has a lot of resentment towards heroes, so I could definitely see him being a big villain for the Young Justice team. He hates that whole sidekick motif. He feels that, Batman let him down. He probably feels the same about other superheroes, so I could very well see him being almost like a Deathstroke for the team if they wanted to go that route. Of course, Deathstroke is still in the series, so we need to see where he's going to go. Could very well possibly be that Red Hood and Deathstroke either work together or fight each other at some point. That would be pretty awesome if I had to say so. And it could be very possible that when Red Hood attacks the team, Nightwing could have to come out of his sort of phase where he doesn't really want to be a hero and have to help defend them, which, again, that would be a really interesting arc for Nightwing and the team. That would be awesome. I really hope they do something like that. But I mean, you take someone like Red Hood, and there's just a million different possibilities. If the Justice League were to disappear again, if Batman were to disappear, you could see Red Hood try and be Batman like he did in the comics. You could see a Battle for the Cowl situation happening. It's endless possibilities. He could even work for the supervillains, be one of their, sidekicks, or, one of their henchmen, whatever you want to say. He could be like Sportsmaster and Deathstroke and that sort of role. I could really see Red Hood just doing just about anything he could. Heck, he could even work for Lex. I mean, who knows? Lex is pretty slimy in Young Justice. He has a lot going for him. He has a lot of angles, a lot of assets. So, I mean, it's a wild gander, but Red Hood being so popular, a lot of people, I've seen quite a few comments of people saying, well, Raish, being that Raish is in Young Justice and he is one of the big villains, it's very possible that he could bring him back like he did in the movie, which obviously Jason does come back from the Lazarus Pit. It was retconned that way because originally it was from Superboy. Yeah, I think it was Superboy punching the space-time continuum and then all these different events happening. Basically, it was like a time reset in DC, and one of those time resets brought Jason back, which they're not going to try and explain that in a kid's show. It just wouldn't even make sense. It wouldn't really make sense anyway to try and do that in any other thing but a comic book, because that's how convoluted comic books get. But to mainstream it for everybody, just having the Lazarus Pit would be perfect. They could use that to maybe, this would be kind of interesting too, if they tried to bring back Tula maybe, the original Blue Beetle. There's quite a few heroes who have fallen, and I'm sure there's going to be even more, because you guys have to remember, in between Young Justice Season 1 and 2, there were quite a few hero deaths. Imagine the difference between Seasons 2 and 3. there could be even more. We don't even know. It could be even one of the main cast, which they're not going to kill one of the main cast off screen, definitely not, but anything could happen. We could have a cast member die in this season and then come back, or something like that. I mean, it's really crazy the kind of possibilities we could have. We could even have Red Hood become a sort of anarchy symbol for the team and say, hey, look, you've had quite a few heroes die. There's been a lot happen. I've been screwed over, but I can help you guys get the revenge that we deserve. We can actually take out the bad guys and make a difference. He could cause a chasm or a split between the team. That would be cool. Again, I doubt that would happen because typically young heroes don't do that, except for someone like Red Arrow or Arsenal, who is just kind of angsty anyway. I could see someone like Arsenal and Red Hood hooking up, which, if you guys know the comic books, you know that they had a comic with Red Hood, Arsenal, and Starfire, and I think they even had a comic after that that was Red Hood and Arsenal. So, being that Arsenal is confirmed to be in this season, and that Arsenal really has a grudge against superheroes, and Red Hood has a grudge against superheroes, now that would be an interesting team-up right there, and I could definitely see that happening. Arsenal betraying the team at some point, joining up with Red Hood. Man, like I said, Red Hood is just this kind of character that can do just about anything, and he's been used in a variety of different ways. Now, of course, later down the line, Red Hood does turn into an ally. But when he initially comes back, he's still crazed, you know. He's got quite a bit of problems and a lot of psychological distress naturally from coming back from the dead. So it just makes for some really good storytelling and interesting ideas. And I would definitely like to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this. I could see him at the very least causing some problems for the Bat family, which Batman and his characters are. You guys have to remember, some of the most important and popular characters for DC simply because everyone loves them. A lot of their stories are very well done, very well written, very well drawn, animated, you name it. So for something like that to happen, you know, it's possible. I could see really anything happening. We could even see something happen with Red Hood and Spoiler, since Spoiler is a Batman character. Of course, that's more for Tim Drake and his story, but we could see something happen with them. Or Batgirl, we don't even know. Could be Stephanie Brown will be Oracle. Not Oracle, Spoiler, sorry. Yeah, we'll have Stephanie Brown and we'll have Barbara Gordon. We don't know. Maybe she'll be the Oracle, or she could be a different role in this. We could have Batwoman. There's a lot of different characters that we could see, and honestly, we just don't have that much information on Season 3 to really know what's going to happen with this, but Red Hood does bring up a lot of possibilities. I could definitely see him causing some problems with the team and their synchronicity and sort of the commitments, because, I mean, Season 2, it didn't really seem like a big deal to a lot of people that some of the heroes have fallen. I guess it's sort of an understanding that, you know, sometimes this happens with heroes, especially like Impulse, who came from a future where everyone was dead. But, you know, when you have new, fresh heroes coming in and they see something like that, like the heroes die, it could very well cause some of the heroes to second guess themselves and think, you know, if this kind of stuff happened to the original team, and this stuff happens to the Justice League, and this happens to even some of the young sidekick superheroes, I mean, really anything could happen to us. Maybe we should join Red Hood. Maybe we should do our own thing and all this stuff. So, again, it's crazy what could happen with this, and this is just discussing one character. I know there's a huge branch of possibilities because Red Hood, again, he's a very flexible character, and he's a very big wild card character. And another thing that would be pretty interesting, because we haven't seen the Joker appear in quite a while in Young Justice. The last time he appeared would be in Season 1. Now, of course, a lot of people did not like the Joker in Young Justice, mainly because of his voice, so they could easily just recast him or something like that. I think that would be fine. But we have not seen the Joker in quite a while. I mean, we haven't seen Batman's reaction to him. We haven't seen Nightwing, Tim Drake, any of them. We don't know what their thoughts are on the Joker. And so if the Joker did become a mainstay villain again, because he was important in the comic books, in the Young Justice tie-in comics, and he was not really significant in the first season of Young Justice, but I mean, again, that could change. We could see a lot happen in this third season. So if they brought back Joker, it would be a great way to bring in Jason Todd, to bring in that more mature adult storyline, like they said that it's very possible they could do. So there's a lot of possibilities. I didn't mean to ramble or go off into too many different directions, but again, there's just a lot of different things that could happen. I tried to point out every possibility. So fingers crossed, Greg Wiseman and just everybody involved in the show, that you bring in Red Hood. Maybe not for season 3, but season 4, because surely there will be a season 4 after this. But anyway, that's all I had on this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up if you like, subscribe if you like, and again, comment below and tell me what your thoughts are on this. I'm very interested to hear what your thoughts and opinions are on this. And, yep, that's about all. Catch you guys later.